Hi, it's Mike and Pete, the Metal Guys. Step 3 then, Pete, is know the people who are interviewing you. How do you do that?
This is the trickiest one, and that's why I put it third. Know yourself is easy because it's you.
Yeah.
Know the business. You can learn that when you can spend some time doing it. But knowing the people that are interviewing you, unless you already have a relationship with them, that's awkward. The other awkward thing is you don't always know how many people will interview you. So you might get one name, but you might go in and there's like a panel of 4 people that are interviewing you. So there's a few things that I would do to get yourself more prepared and put you in the best position. The first thing I would do, especially if you're going for a job with, say, a smaller company, like an SME, is have a look on Company's House at who the directors are of that company. You can just Google that, go through Company's House, have a look, and jot those names. And like I keep saying, take your notes in.
Yeah.
So if you know who the MD is and the chief operating officer is, or the company secretary, those are important people. And the likelihood is, if they're going to be employing someone in a smaller business,
involved in the decision.
Absolutely. Or they're going to be in the interview.
Yeah.
So be prepared that if you get introduced to other people and they give those names and you think, I know that person, you can say, I know that you're the MD of this company. I know that the company set.
Well, sometimes on the websites they have like meet the team, don't they? Have a little portfolio about themselves.
Absolutely. But I think, as I say, have a look at Company's House because it's so quick and you can just take that little snapshot down. The other thing we do, particularly in our industry, LinkedIn is used heavily. Yeah. So if you know who's going to be interviewing you, take a look at their profile on LinkedIn. If you're not connected to them, maybe you don't have to connect with them. It might be a bit weird, but or you can. It's entirely up to you on that one. But have a look through their career, because if you know someone who might have worked with them, the easiest thing to do is ring up someone who might be a friendly connection of ours in the industry and say, did you work with this person here? And if they did, were they your manager? What were they like? How did they manage? What was their style? What were they like personally or socially? Yeah. Because as a salesperson, as we both are, knowing your market that you're going for, or knowing the target.
I was going to say, why do you feel like this is so important, Pete, of knowing the person, knowing what benefit did that give you when you went for your interviews?
I think it gives you a better chance to build a relationship with that person quickly. Yeah. Because the faster that you can build a positive relationship with the person that's interviewing you, and the more likability you've got because you know your stuff, the more likely it is that you're going to get the job or you're going to get the opportunity to come back for a second interview. So I think if you can find out that information, that's useful, and you go in there knowing what they're like. If you know they're really fiery and they start going straight for you and asking you things like, what are your weaknesses? You're aware of it. You know that's what that person's like. So it's not an upsetting or an unsettling experience when you get into the interview. So although it's a more difficult, as I said, it's the third point because it's the least important of the 3 because it's the most difficult one to do. Yeah. Know the people. And I'll give you an example. I went to an interview where one of the people that was interviewing me, I'd had a look and I saw that they'd done a contract position in Holland. Now I've done a lot of business in Holland. Yep. So there was an opportunity for me to talk about how I saw myself developing within the company and what I wanted to do over the next 5 years. Very typical question to get asked. And I said I'd like to work at a more senior level, maybe running projects for them. And then I mentioned one of the guys who was interviewing me and said, you went to Holland 2 years ago and you did a 6-month placement, bringing these. That's what I would like to do. Where was it you went? Yeah. And that again built that rapport, but also showed, as I've said in the previous 2 videos, that I was properly prepared and I knew the people that were interviewing me, and all of it just gives a better impression and a better chance of getting that job.
You feel more comfortable as well.
100%. So know the people.
Know the people.